Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. Confucius nailed it 2,000 years ago. It basically means imperfect action beats perfect procrastination every single time. Hey guys, Brittney here with Cut the BS, Build the Dream. And today we're unpacking 3 pillars every entrepreneur needs on speed dial. That's dreams, goals, and confidence. So let me have a gut check here. Do you have enough reasons to make your dream a non-negotiable? Well, most of us don't have a talent problem. We have a clarity and consistency problem. But we're going to fix that right now. Here we go. I am Brittney Kosef, business owner, entrepreneur, single mom, and former school librarian, here to share what has helped me level up in business and in life. This is Cut the BS, Build the Dream. Okay, let's really dive into this. First, guys, imagine it. Then you've got to ground it. You know, everything happens twice. It happens first in your head, then in the real world. And that's really the truth. Every goal, everything that you have currently, it happened first right here in your head. And you created the outcome. You built the reality. So let me give you a snapshot. It was 2018. I was in a Chick-fil-A drive-through. I had a toddler in the back seat. I was still a librarian at the time, but I was selling real estate nights and weekends. And I think my toddler was painting with chicken nuggets or something. And I had a laptop balanced on the diaper bag and hotspot was on my phone. And I needed to get a purchase contract out by 5 p.m. to the listing agent. Everyone else was ordering extra Polynesian sauce. And I was just praying that fries were not going to rain on my keyboard. Just picture it. Was it glamorous? No, but the deal closed and my business leveled up. And that was just the start, right? Then let's take this a step further because I've left the library at this point. I'm full-time in my business and I'm absolutely loving it, but I'm still not where I want to be, right? What got me here won't get me there. I hired a coach several months back and she had me write out my perfect day, the perfect day exercise. She had me script every single detail, all 5 senses, where I woke up, what I was wearing, what I did all day long, the food I ate, the sounds around me, the office buzz, dinner laughter, kids thriving, and finally me falling asleep, just brimming with joy and hope. I was like, this is great. Then she said, okay, now I want you to list the dragons guarding that treasure. Oof. Everything that could get in the way of that perfect day. Mine, I'll just be frank with you, and I still have these fears. It was the fear I wasn't smart enough for all the P&Ls, the taxes, the budgets. It was a classic imposter soundtrack just playing on loop in my head. You know, the fear that I'm just not good enough for that version of myself. What she was doing, guys, is called mental contrasting. And it's really the science behind the magic. And we want to fantasize all these positive things, the feeling good things, but that's motivation sedative. You know, Dr. Gabriele Oettingen discovered that if you pair a vivid dream with its ugliest obstacle, that's mental contrasting, and it spikes effort by up to 60%. And she developed a framework around it. And I thought it was really neat. And I wanted to tell you guys about it today. It's called WOOP, W-O-O-P. And it's wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. You know, you have this big desire, this wish, and the outcome it's going to give you, that perfect day, that perfect life, the money, the success, the happiness, the project finished, whatever it is. Then she wants you to picture the obstacles. What could get in the way with that? And then develop a plan. Because she said that the warm fuzzies alone lead straight to lethargy. And if we can ground fantasies in reality through the mental contrasting, we can mobilize dreams as a tool for directed action. And so think about it. What's something you crave? Maybe a promotion, Maybe it's learning Spanish since you didn't master it in high school. Maybe it's throwing a giant event that you're super excited about. Picture it. Feel the glow. Now, slam yourself into the brick wall that stands between you and it. And that jolt of reality, that's your rocket fuel. And so sit down, guys, type it out on your laptop, write it out in a journal, build the IMAX version of what you're going after. And then really think about the nastiest barriers that are standing in your way and list those. And take a picture of it, screenshot it, because you just created a North Star and the terrain map right there in front of you. And one thing that I think about too is sometimes you have to borrow belief. If your confidence is shaky, you can rent someone else's until you can afford your own. That's definitely what I did throughout my career. And as I leveled up, I looked around myself as a kid in high school, and I didn't know anybody who went to college. I came from blue collar. No one in my immediate family or even distant family at that point had gone to college. I didn't have a lot of role models in that way, but I saw the teachers, and the teachers went to college. And I thought to myself, if they can do it, I can do it. The same thing happened when I got my real estate license. My agent at the time made $9,000 selling our home, and she was fumbling MLS papers, and she did a good job, but not a great job. And I thought to myself, if she can do it, I can do it. I was borrowing belief, and that helped me build my own. But now let's take it a step further. Most of you have heard of David Goggins, the ultra athlete. He talks about this idea of a mental cookie jar, and every hell week he survived, every 100-miler he finished is a cookie he can bite when pain hits. And so he would store them, right? Every achievement, every small win, he'd put it away so that he could go touch it later. And you can do that too. You can create a cookie jar of your wins, a borrowed belief album, whatever it is. If someone gave you a compliment, screenshot it, put it in an album. Or if there's an image of something that you want, screenshot it, put it in the album. And if you add these and you stack these borrowed beliefs, these small wins of your own, when you're in that bad mind space, when you're hitting an obstacle, pull a cookie out, eat it. And, end each day with a gratitude to yourself. Here's a win I had today, a fresh cookie. And those affirmations, the kind that you say in the mirror, you read about, it seems silly. A 5-minute value statement has been proven, though, to boost long-term performance. So jot them down. I know it seems silly, but do it. Write those I am statements on a sticky note. You don't have to have glitter pens. You can say things like, I close complex deals. I learn fast under pressure. I keep promises to myself first. Because here's the truth. You're the only hype person guaranteed to show up every day for you. So act like it. And if you don't believe it now, start borrowing those beliefs. And then do the work, right? Punch resistance in the face. There's another book that I've read. It's called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. And in it, he calls this invisible enemy that we all have resistance, right? It's the most toxic force on the planet. Resistance, guys, is self-sabotage. It's shape-shifting. It's fear, distraction, perfectionism, rationalization. And the bigger the dream you have, the louder it screams. But there's some science behind that, right? Neuroscience agrees that your limbic system, dopamine now versus the prefrontal cortex that talks about future rewards, it's true. So open your CRM. And if a llama dancing to Beyonce hijacks your time, that's resistance, right? It's resistance hijacking your limbic system. Show me your calendar. I'll show you your priorities. You have to block those times you need for your projects, for your goals, for your revenue generating activities. If you want more revenue, what's your daily outbound block? If you want brand authority, show me the weekly content shoot. If you want investment capital, where's the Friday coffee pitch? Just choose a lane and marry it. if you want to be doing digital live streams, handwritten notes, if you want to become the door knock domination of your marketplace, if you want to do referral lunches, any one of those lanes will work, but consistency is what wins. Now, here's the other part, guys. Discipline breeds confidence. And you know that's true. Confidence is interest life pays on disciplined action. So that means the more that you do those disciplined actions, the bigger your confidence is going to get. Psychologist Albert Bandura is his name. He calls it the self-efficacy loop. Do, succeed, believe, do bigger, and it just keeps going. You build that self-efficacy when you do it, and then you stack that win, you put it in your cookie jar, and then you start believing you can do more. The same thing happened to me in real estate. My first closing was a best friend of mine, and she trusted me and let me help her sell her home. And that little win to me was everything. It gave me the ability to start believing in myself. And so when you're in this self-efficacy loop, the do, succeed, believe, do bigger, it keeps growing. And you can keep those micro wins, those cookies, and put it in the jar. There was a recent meta-analysis that I read about that shows that structured daily plans slash procrastination by half, which means structure beats your mood. So no matter how you're feeling, stick to the calendar. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. Because guys, you have to design the future you want. And ambiguity, it breeds anxiety, but clarity breeds anticipation. And so swap the idea of financial freedom for something more tangible, like I will acquire 2 cash flowing assets by September 30th. Break it into milestones. Okay, first I'm going to find the funding. I'm going to start sourcing leads. I'm going to make sure I have my financing lined up for the backside of it. I'm going to plan out the rehab. I'm going to pick a contractor and block 90 minutes every day for that goal. And so when you're doing that, you're creating the goal and the vision, but then breaking it into the tangible steps. And so each week, as you do this, guys, you're tracking, you're tweaking, and you're also trusting. And unmeasured goals are motivational posters. You've got to pick one and then pick a dashboard to measure it. Whether it's a Google sheet, a whiteboard, hopefully not just lipstick on a mirror, track it and notice that over time, as you're tracking the progress to your goals, it's going to make a difference. And every Sunday evening, this is what I do. I look at the last week in my journal. Did I hit those things that I said I was going to hit? If not, I shift it to the next week. But what did I do well? What were the tweaks I can make moving into next week? What are the tiny shifts today that can prevent a 100-mile detour next year? And really what's happening here, guys, is it's momentum over perfection. So let's close this out with this. Confidence comes from showing up, not just showing off. And like Confucius said, flawed diamonds beat perfect pebbles. Your dream isn't waiting for perfect timing. It's waiting for your next rep, your next set, your next day that you show up to that calendar that you said you were working on, that you said you were going to time block and do. There it is. You're there for it. And at the end of the week, you stack those cookies in the cookie jar and you pull one out when you need it. And then you try to get better every single time. So how will you cut the BS this week? For me, it's looking at those dragons, guarding my treasure, and doing it anyway. If this is lighting a fire inside of you, share it with someone. Come follow me on Instagram at Brittney_Kosiv and tune into the podcast. Every week it's coming out. Share it with a friend. Marinate on something. And until next week, keep swinging, keep stacking those wins, eating the cookies in the cookie jar, and of course, building the dream.